Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad. May Allah bless our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. May Allah bless all the Muslims in the world. May Allah bless and make us easy today for us. Ismail is one of the prophets sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to this world to guide mankind. It is believed that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent around 124,000 prophets in ancient time, starting with Prophet Adam alayhi salam, ending with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. However, only 25 of them are mentioned in the Quran by name. Prophet Ismail alayhi salam is one of them. His name appears along with other prophets around 12 times in the Quran. Content: introduction, family background, and birth of Prophet Ismail alayhi salam and his mother at Mecca. Prophet Ismail alayhi salam and the well of Zamzam. Settlement start at Mecca. Prophet Ismail alayhi and event of sacrifice. Prophet Ismail alayhi salam and construction of Kaaba. Death of Prophet Ismail alayhi salam. Family background and birth of Prophet Ismail alayhi salam. Prophet Ismail alayhi salam was born in present-day Palestine. Ismail alayhi salam was a son of the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. His mother's name Hajira. She was the second wife of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. His brother Ishaq or Isaac was also prophet. So he belongs to a family of prophets. He was the successor to Prophet Lut alayhi salam. The first wife of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam is known as Sarah. She was sterile, hence Prophet Ibrahim remained without a child for a long time. Knowing this fact, Sarah requested her husband to marry her servant Hajar. Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam accepted her request. Ismail was then born to Hajar. The age of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam at this stage was around 86 years old. It is also mentioned in the 39th verse of Surah Ibrahim. Prophet Ismail and his mother at Mecca. Sometimes after the birth of Prophet Ismail alayhi salam, Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam with the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, asked his wife Hajar to get ready for a long travel. Ismail alayhi salam was just an infant at this stage. Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam traveled with both of them and reached a barren land which was without water, fruit, or trees. He left both of them in this remote and barren place and returned to his hometown. His wife Hajar asked why he was leaving them alone there. The prophet told her that it is He will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. While leaving them, the prophet gave them a water skin and some food items, which were sufficient or only a few days. Soon, the food and water stock were exhausted. The infant Ismail alayhi salam needed water, but there was nothing for them. In this barren valley, Hajar was quite worried about this situation. She desperately ran up the nearby hills, now known as the hills of Safa and Marwa. She ran up and down these hills 7 times to see if something was available for them, but she couldn't find anything. The Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala so liked this act of Hajar that it was made a compulsory part of Hajj. It is mentioned in the 158th verse of Surah Baqarah. Surah Baqarah. Surah Baqarah. Prophet Ismail alayhi salam and Prophet Ismail alayhi salam and the well of Zamzam. Prophet Ismail alayhi salam and the well of Zamzam. Sometimes when Hajar came back to her son without any success in finding water for him, the infant Ismail was dire need of water and was scratching his heels on the earth. Suddenly, with the will and commanded of Allah Almighty Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, a fountain of water broke out at the particular place where the infant Ismail was scratching his heels. Hajar managed to make a dam-like structure to gather the water flowing out from the earth. She also filled her water skin, filled her water skin from this fountain. This is also mentioned in the hadith of Sahih. Drinking the Zamzam water is also one of the rituals of Hajj. Rituals of Hajj. It is considered as the most sacred water on the earth. Settlement start at Mecca. The Zamzam water provided good fortune for Hajar and her son Ismail alayhi salam. After some time, a group of people passed by this place and saw flying birds. They came here and found that a fountain of water was flowing. They requested Hajar to allow them to live here. She allowed them. It is believed that they belong to the tribe of Jarham, which eventually emerged as the Quraysh tribe of Mecca. This way, the Prophet Ismail alayhi salam and his mother became the founders of the holy city of Mecca. Prophet Ismail alayhi salam and the historical events of sacrifice. Another important event in the life of the Prophet Ismail alayhi salam is the historic act of sacrifice. His father had consistent dreams where he was slaying his beloved son Ismail alayhi salam. Being a prophet, he soon realized that it was a message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to offer sacrifice in his way. He shared this dream with his beloved son Ismail alayhi salam. Ismail agreed to offer himself for sacrifice and asked his father to do as commanded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This historic event is mentioned in Qur'an in Surah As-Safat in verses 100 and 107. This act of both the Prophet is Ibrahim alayhi salam and his son Prophet Ismail alayhi salam was so liked by the Almighty that it was made compulsory for Muslims to slaughter sacrifice animals on Eid al-Adha. It is also a compulsory part of Hajj. So the story begins to Prophet Ismail. Prophet Ismail alayhi salam divorced wife and take a decision have good wife. The Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam missed his son Ismail alayhi salam. So he went to see him, but when the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam reached the house of Ismail alayhi salam. He was not at home. His wife came out, and when the Prophet asked her about Ismail alayhi salam, she replied, she replied, she replied, he has gone in search of livelihood. The Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam asked her how their living conditions were, to which she started complaining about everything. She complained that they were living in misery and hardship and many other things. She was not at all grateful to the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam realized that she was not at all a suitable wife for Ismail alayhi salam. So left her a message that his son would understand. When your husband returns, convey my salutation to him. He said, and also tell him to take hold of the gate, change the gate, the Ismail alayhi salam then went back to his home. When his smile returned home in the evening, he felt something unusual. Did anyone visit us today? He asked his wife, and she replied, yes, and passed on the message. When Prophet Ismail alayhi salam heard the message, he realized that it was his father Ibrahim alayhi salam who visited him that day, and he understand the message that he gave her. Prophet Ismail alayhi salam replied his wife, it was my father, and he has advised me to divorce you. You can go back to your family. His wife feeling bad, and his wife went back to her house, and Ismail alayhi salam married another woman after a long time. Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam again missed his son, Prophet Ismail alayhi salam. So he visited his new house once again. When he arrived, it was his new wife who answered the door. The Prophet asked the same question to her, but this time when she answered, the Prophet Ibrahim realized that she was a very grateful woman and kind woman. She kept thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the wonderful things going on around us. And Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam was very happy. When your husband comes home, give him my regards. The Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam told to son Ismail alayhi salam wife. He also added and also tell him that he should keep The doorstep, the doorstep of this gate filled. In the evening, when Ismail alayhi salam came back, he asked his wife if anyone had come to visit him. When his when his wife told him about the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, Ismail alayhi salam was very happy. It was my father, said Ismail alayhi salam, and you are the threshold of the gate. He asked me to keep you with me forever, said the Prophet Ismail alayhi salam to his wife happily. Years went by and his father passed away, and leaving him Ismail alayhi salam with the mission to continue on the of Islam, spreading of Islam. The Prophet and his son Ismail alayhi salam kept calling people to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let's see how to build a Kaaba. Build Kaaba. They didn't have any place to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So one day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered the prophets Ibrahim alayhi salam to build a house. Allah has ordered me to build a Kaaba. The Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam said to his son Prophet Ismail alayhi salam, and Prophet Ismail alayhi salam replied, do what you Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered you to do. The Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam asked his son if he could help him build the Kaaba, and Ismail alayhi salam agreed. They started to building the foundation of the Kaaba. Prophet Ismail alayhi salam brought the stones, while Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam built the house where they completed the foundation and built the corners. Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam asked Prophet Ismail alayhi salam to find the stone to fill the corners. While he was gone, an angel got the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam a stone. This angel told him that this stone was brought to earth by Prophet Adam alayhi salam from paradise. Ismail alayhi salam returned after some time, and when he saw the stone, he was surprised and asked his father where it came from, and Prophet said to him, it was brought by someone who never gets tired, replied Ibrahim alayhi salam, and finally completed Kaaba. The Kaaba, they prayed to Allah to accept their work. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was very happy with the Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam and his son for spreading his message and proclaimed the pilgrimage among men, narrated by Al Bukhari in his Sahih, the book of the prophets, the book of his prophets. There is no mention of the age and death of Prophet Ismail alayhi salam, there is no mention. The age and death of Prophet Ismail alayhi salam in the Quran bear the tradition he lived for around 130 years and died in Mecca. It is believed that he was buried alongside his mother Hajar near the walls of Kaaba. However, there is no concrete evidence about his burial place. Jazakallah khair.